Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more RPG goodness. This time we're talking about the 2D6 system, Maze Rats. Heard and read a lot about this cute little system, which I'm really starting to enjoy a lot by using it. Again, this I use more for my Wondrous One-Shot adventures, but it's a very handy dandy little book for a solo role-playing game, or you can do large-scale role-playing games. But the difference between this and something like a Twilight 2000 or a Dungeons and Dragons or Starfinder is that this is a 2d6 system. So everything you're doing, you're rolling 2d6, meaning dice that have 6 pips on them. And you're just rolling 2 for everything that you're going to do. So let's open this up again. Maze Rats is brought to you by Ben Milton. So let's just take a look at this real quick. Introduction. Maze Rats is a fantasy adventure game, also known as a role-playing game or RPG, or of exploration, problem solving, and survival. One player acts as a game master, while the remaining players take on the role of player characters. Although paper, pencils, and dice are involved, the core of the game is a conversation the GM tells the players what is happening to the players, tell the GM what their characters do in response, and the GM describes how their actions in turn affect the world. And there you go. So playing the game, we have a bunch of things that you obviously have obstacles that you're going to occur throughout the exploration of different adventures that you're going to go on. And so you're going to have to, so in this type of system, you're going to be rolling for danger rolls, which is the same thing as rolling against enemies and things of that nature. You have advantage, you have NPC reactions, you have, of course, you have your initiative, your combat, you have your NPC morale, healing, encumbrance, and leveling up, different levels of experience that you can gain. So first thing you're going to need to know is how to, now in the back, I have a handy dandy. So this is your character sheet, which is, they give you 2 in the back of the book. Also, you just make some copies and you could run it. You can make some copies and just make, instead of damaging your book, you can have them right there. And you could also download this at Pay As You Want. You can go to one of these sites that will come to me in a minute. I just forgot which site it's on, but you can also pick this up there for, it goes Pay As You Want. Can't remember the site right off the top of my head, but you could download this for free basically, or if you want, you could donate some money so he can keep updating his own. You can update his own type of the game itself. He uses the money to make the more advanced versions, which have the beautiful covers, pay for the artwork, and do all things like that. Which is one thing I wanted to mention, is that if you look at the artwork of the book, it's really, really awesome. The first version of this that I got didn't have a cover whatsoever. It was just a couple sheets that you printed out, and but now he's really taken this to another level with his artwork, and the layout is really superior to what it originally was. So this little system is becoming really, really fun, especially if you're doing any solo role playing, because all the charts and stats that you're going to need are right here in the book. And again, it's a very, very small book. I think it only has only 28 pages to it. So there's a lot of, in a little book, there's a lot of good stuff in this book. So again, getting back to what we're talking about, character creation tells you how to make a character, random tables, rolling or choosing your abilities, record maximum health, starting features, roll, and you choose 6 items. Again, you roll 2d6. So you're going to roll this, and then you're going to count down which number it would wind up being. Choose combat gear, light weapons, heavy weapons, ranged weapons, roll or create appearances. Again, 1, 2, 3. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 3 is 36 options that you're going to have here. So you're going to roll on your chart and you're going to find out which ones you want to use. Again, roll, so chart 6, 7 is roll or create a physical detail, roll or create background, roll or create clothing, roll or create a personality, roll or create mannerism, record name, level, and experience points. Again, this all goes on your player chart, which you have over here. Right there. Then, of course, you could have a magic user. You can generate spells. Again, they don't, in this game, they don't have necessarily, your character doesn't carry around a spell book, but you roll on the charts and it tells you what spells they're going to be able to have for that adventure. Or if they, run into a room and they find a spell that's, as a part of a treasure that you find. Of course, you could roll up there and you could use these to gain that as well. Again, most of those are one-time use only. Physical effects, physical elements, physical forms, ethereal effects, ethereal elements, ethereal forms. Again, mutations, insanities, and omens, magical catastrophes. Again, you're just rolling 2d6 to figure out what you're going to use. Again, if you're going to start having some of your fights and you have to defend, again, the word for this in here, again, that they call it is your danger rolls when you're having any type of combat. So you might have it against an animal. Monster base, you have an aerial animal, terrestrial animal, aquatic animals. You could have monster features, their tactics, their personality, their monster traits, their weaknesses, their abilities. Again, down here, all of them have the exact same stats, which is your health, their armor, their attack bonus, strength bonus, dexterity bonus, will bonus, and their magic. And again, this is the type of monster that you're going to roll up as a character. And then you have some NPCs, which is non-player characters, so characters that you'll run into from time to time while going through adventures. Say you walk into a bar, you're looking for a certain character or whatever. Again, this helps you set up those pre-generated characters that you would just run into while you were there. You have your civilized NPCs, underworld NPCs, wilderness NPCs, female names, male names, upper class surnames, lower class surnames. You have assets, liabilities. You have NPC goals, misfortunes, and different missions that they might be going on or set you on. Again, creation of more NPCs, the methods, the clothing, the personalities, the mannerisms, appearances, physical details, secrets, relationships, reputations, divine dominations, hobbies, after the party. So what this book really does more than anything else, it sets you into an adventure, but when you're on an adventure, you can create everything here that you have for, really, this can be used for a campaign, but it can also be used for solo. So again, if I do some solo RPGing myself, so the reality is if I want to create a new world where I'm just making up characters as I go along, this is the perfect book for it because it has charts that you go right in, roll them up very, very easily. Again, it's very simple. You're using the same concept for every chart that you have here. You're rolling 2d6 and then you're counting over and you're getting the number that you want of what characteristic that you're going to have, and then you have your pre-made characters and you put them in a certain room or a certain building or whatever, and again you have your little adventure. So again, when we're talking about characters that you may run into, they got secrets, they got relationships, divine domains, reputations, their hobbies, they're after the party, they're running after you. So after the party, just give an example that it says there. It says here, absurd boast, elected to office, inconvenient pet, insulted a noble, insulted, joined a cult, letter of thanks, spilled secret, started a cult, shanghaied, sick, signed contract, someone died. Some hobbies that you might have are archaeology, cuisine, dark lore, history, opera, theater. Up here, reputations you might have, ambitious, dangerous, an idiot, hardworking, a partier, proper, or is pious. And go to secrets real quick. You're addicted to something. You're a cultist. You're a demigod. You're a serial killer. You're a smuggle. Relationships. You're a blackmailer. You're a debtor. You're a master. Nemesis. Offspring. Romantic. Servant. Sibling. Again, methods, clothing, all this are all listed of all the different types of things that your characters can have. Again, rolling on. Then, of course, what would any type of adventure be without some treasure and finding some new equipment? So you got miscellaneous items, you got weapon items, you got worn items. So we got up here, you got belts, you got coats, you got eye patches, plate mail, weapons. You have swords, daggers, flails, mace, lances, throwing axes, a warhammer. You find some books. You got alchemy, criminals, divination, etiquette, genealogy, sword fighting, tools, treasures. You can have amulets, crystals, deeds, embroidery, royal roads, saints' relics. You can have a prayer book. You can have a telescope. Treasure traits. Is it an ancient one? Is it damaged? Is it the effects? You've got intelligent, masterwork, military value, non-human. Then you have valuable materials: alabaster, bone china, cinnabar, ivory, onyx. You got potions. You got animal form. You've got item form, magic immunity, mutations, night vision, super jump, super strength, element, form, insanity, and vulnerable. So all different kinds of potions that you can find and treasures. Now, they have different elements of different areas you might want to go into. Are you going to be taking an adventure in a city? Are you going to take an adventure out in the wild? Or are you going to be in something called the maze? We should be doing that as well. So let's take a look at each of these individually. So we have the city. Well, what's the theme? Is it upper class buildings? Is it lower class buildings? Do you have city events that are going on? Is there an assassination, a carnival, a conscription, a faction, a war going on? Fashion trend, inquisition, roundup, scandal, proclamation, district themes. Is it catacombs, entertainment, industrialization, judgment, livestock? Lower class buildings. Under NPCs, upper class buildings, wild NPCs. City activities, abduct, beg, brawl, dance, duel, haul, interrogate, mission, process, proclaim, search, wild activity. Lower class buildings, you have an apothecary, you have a cheesemaker, you have a curiosity shop, you have a dock, a fighting pit, a theater, a veterinarian, a watchtower. Upper class buildings, you have an academy, a castle, a clockmaker, a haberdashery, physician, a temple, a townhouse, winery, or a zoo. Of course, you have different rooms inside a building. You have an atrium, you have a chapel, cloakroom, greenhouse, junk room, pantry, spicery, still room, root cellar. Tactical street features, you have an arcade, catwalks, clotheslines, crowd, roof access, gates, sewer access, vermin swarms. Okay. Tactical building features, you have factions, faction traits. What kind of factions can you run up against? Art movement, crime family, crime ring, dark cult, local militia, spy network, resistance. Once again, your faction traits. Are they bankrupt? Are they delusional? Are they incompetent? Are they dwindling, thriving, unpopular, subversive, pious? And then you have faction goals. Do they want to control the politics of an area, destroy artifacts, defend borders? Do they want to preserve lineage? They want to hear rumors, produce goods, summon evil, survive, or transport goods. So again, everything that you might run into when it comes to a city. You want to do a different kind of environment? How about out in the wild, out in the jungles, or wherever you may be? The forest, wilderness regions, wilderness landmarks, wilderness structures, again, regional traits, wilderness discoveries. You can find bloodstains on the ground, dead animals, food scraps, grave markers, wilderness activities. You can ambush someone, you could demolish something, you could sacrifice, swim, track, trap, skirmish. Wilderness hazards, you can have an avalanche, an earthquake, you can have a locust swarm, rain of frogs, tsunami, whirlpool, edible plants, poisonous plants. Go to an inn, what's the objectives there? Bellowing, copper, dancing, dead, drunken, flying, moldy, salty, singing, wicked. In nouns, in quirks, brand new, cannabis, city activity, faction traits, magic sword, talking paintings, mercs for hire, NPC hangout, in building, secure storage, women are allowed only in there. So again, it just talks about everything that you might run into in the wild. Of course, then there's something called the maze. Dungeon entrance, libraries, river dam, down a well, hollow tree, huge keyhole, narrow alley. How's the form of the dungeon? Is an arena, an asylum, a cave, a dungeon room, a temple, a university. Dungeon layout. So you can lay out the entire dungeon right here by just rolling on some charts. There's your layout, there's your ruinations, there's your rewards, your activities, rooms, hazards, trap effects, dungeon room details, dungeon tricks and traps and triggers. So again, this is if you're setting up an adventure. If you're not setting up an adventure and you're using a pre-made generated module, you can use your characters in that as well. So then it gives you a sample guide of how this system works, what a typical adventure would look like. Then again, of course, you're prepping and running the session to game. Situations, not plots. Be fair and impartial. Reveal the world. Player skill or NPC skill. Tools, not upgrades. Offer tough choices for your adventures. The tougher the adventure, the more fun it is. Clever reward solutions, building your world, bringing your world to life, the wilderness, again, the city, the dungeon, and again, special thanks for all the people who put their time and effort into creating this. And again, you have your character sheets in the back. And blank 2 pages where you can take this page here, you can take some notes. And over here, just basically all the information tells you about right here. So that's all the stuff we have here. So there you have it. That's everything that's included. And this concludes our unboxing of the 2D6 role-playing game Maze Rats, brought to you by Ben Milton. As always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You could also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.